Hello, my name is Austin, and this is Go Access, a YouTube channel dedicated to access in higher education and disability rights. Today I'm going to be covering closed captioning for colleges and universities. One thing that many people may not realize is that captioning benefits all different types of students. Studies show that 90% of students benefit at least moderately from captioning. It can help with comprehension and retention. Studies also show that captioning can benefit people on the autism spectrum, people with auditory processing disorder, and people with ADHD. Recently, there's been some interesting developments in captioning. Netflix was successfully sued and is now providing closed captioning and audio description. UC Berkeley, MIT, and Harvard were sued for posting free online courses on their websites without captioning. UC Berkeley has pulled their content, and MIT and Harvard are fighting the lawsuits in court. Movie theaters are now being required to provide closed captioning and audio description to their patrons. More theatrical performances are being ordered to provide closed captioning when available. Captioning policy. If a student is deaf or hard of hearing and registered with the college's disability office, all the videos and audio must have captioning or transcription. All videos on a college campus's website should have closed captioning too. More colleges are providing funding for their professors to get their materials captioned and also trying to advertise to hard of hearing and deaf students that events and theater productions have captioning available. Captioning policy. Usually the college's disability office is the one responsible for providing the captioning. A representative from the disability office will contact the faculty members and make sure the materials are captioned. So for an example, captioning is needed for all online website content if it is available to everyone, and if there is a student who is hard of hearing or deaf in the classroom. However, if there is a closed online course that's available to maybe the 20 students who have paid money to sign up for that course, and none of them are registered with a disability office as hard of hearing or deaf, then no captioning is needed for that online content. But when a student signs up for that course a couple years later who is hard of hearing or deaf, then all the materials must be captioned. So it is something that places a real burden on disability offices because suddenly, as soon as a student who needs the captioning comes up, they kind of have to scramble to make sure the captioning is available. It's a lot better when colleges and universities encourage professors to proactively have everything captioned because then it's much easier if a student needs the captioning later. Captioning must meet ADA standards. So algorithmic captioning like you see on YouTube or captioning that's not 100% accurate will not meet those standards. You also need punctuation. A lot of the live captioning that's being offered through like Microsoft and Google Slides live captioning does not include punctuation, so that would not meet the ADA standard. And third-party services are the ones who offer the ADA captioning, usually with a quick turnaround of somewhere between 24 to 72 hours. Bigger colleges and universities handle captioning in-house. You can get, like, I think the service that we use is Rev, and it's $1 a minute for captioning. So it really depends how much demand you have. Colleges and universities that have larger demand for captioning will sign a contract, and when they sign that contract, they're paying for a certain amount of captioning no matter what, and they also get a discount if they exceed whatever the number is for the captioning. Smaller colleges and universities will just do a flat rate, usually around $1 a minute. Transcription for audio. If audio content is played in the class, A transcript must be provided. Usually this is beneficial not just to the student who is hard of hearing or deaf, but to everyone because the disability office can make that available to the professor and ask that the transcript be provided to all the students. And all the students getting to see the transcript is helpful when they're listening to the podcast or music. So it doesn't just have to benefit the one student. And as I mentioned, consider the time crunch because captioning takes additional time to create. It's important for colleges to consider encouraging faculty to get their audio and video captioned, as well as considering all the benefits of that. One thing to keep in mind too is that subtitles and closed captioning are different. So I think that's something that a lot of people don't know. Subtitles are burned into the DVD. So when you have subtitles, you're just going to the DVD menu and choosing the subtitled option. Versus closed captioning, like on a TV, requires a decoder chip. And if you're playing videos in the classroom, older projectors and DVD players might not have that chip, and you might not be able to access it with the DVD player. So it's important to kind of keep that in mind if you're a professor teaching a class and to be aware of that. You may want to use your computer to play closed captioning from a TV show or something like that because your computer would have the decoder chip. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode. I hope you have a great day. Please like, comment, and subscribe.